Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anisa Dian Kresna, a student majoring in English education at UIN Wali Songo Semarang from class 3B. I will deliver a speech to fulfill the final assignment, the course Philosophy of Islamic Education. First of all, I would like to thank Prof. Mahfud who has given me the opportunity to present this material. I present in front of you to talk about philosophy of Islamic education as a science. But before that, what is the meaning of science education philosophy? Islamic educational philosophy is an in-depth study of the principles, values, and goals of education in an Islamic context. Experts describe this philosophy as a branch of science that combines philosophical concepts with Islamic teaching to form a basis for educational thought and practice that is in accordance with Islamic values. On this occasion, I will discuss three subchapters related to this material. First, regarding the understanding of Islamic educational philosophy. Second, regarding the study of Islamic educational philosophy. And the last, study method of Islamic education philosophy. The first material is about understanding the philosophy of Islamic education. Understanding the philosophy of Islamic education. To understand what is Islamic educational philosophy, it can be approached from 3 points of view, namely, first, Islamic educational philosophy is an educational philosophy based on Islam. Islamic philosophy of education is the Islamic philosophy of education. And the last, the philosophy of Islamic education is the philosophy of Islamic education. First, the philosophy of education based on Islam, namely the philosophical analysis of education which is based on the main sources of Islamic teaching, namely the Al-Quran and Al-Hadith. In this case, Islamic is used a basis for analyzing, synthesizing, and prescribing the problems of human life in developing the potential of oneself and others. Second, Islamic philosophy regarding education. In the second sense, Islamic educational philosophy is the thoughts of the Muslim philosophers about education, namely in the form of human activities in developing their potential in relation to God, nature, and human themselves. In this sense, the emphasis is on Islamic philosophy. Third, philosophy regarding Islamic education. The philosophy of Islamic education in this sense is a philosophical analysis of Islamic education problems, both theoretical and practical problems. The philosophy used analysis, in this sense, can come from Islamic philosophical schools or Western philosophical schools, both classical and modern. From this explanation, it can be concluded that although at first glance they are different, they basically have the same thing, namely that they both study Islamic education from a philosophical perspective. Thus, Islamic educational philosophy is a synergy between Islam philosophy, Islamic philosophy, and educational philosophy. That was the material regarding the meaning of Islamic educational philosophy as a science. The next chapter is about the object of study of Islamic educational philosophy. Object of the study of the philosophy of Islamic education. Studying Islamic educational philosophy means entering the arena of fundamental, systematic, logical, and comprehensive or universal thinking about education. which is not only based on Islamic religious knowledge, but requires us to study other relevant sciences. Any philosophical tradition, wherever it is, always has lexical pairs from the metaphysical, theoretical, to practical levels. The metaphysical level is called ontology, the theoretical level is called epistemology, and the practical level is called axiological or ethical aspect. If applied to educational activities, the ontological aspect is related to human existence in the form of a view of life or philosophy of life of humans as the main actor in education, in such a way that it influences the goals the humans themselves desire and strive to achieve. The epistemological aspect emphasizes overall efforts to realize the desired educational goals, namely in the form of learning and teaching activities, educating, guiding, training, assessing, and so on. And the axiological or ethical aspect is closely related to the values or change in behavior resulting from the entire educational process or activity, namely in the form of spiritual maturity, emotional maturity, intellectual maturity, and bodily skills. These three aspects of educational philosophy are related to one another in a causalistic manner. The ontological aspect underlies the epistemological aspect, and the epistemological aspect provides a path of method to the axiological aspect, while the axiological aspect is the result. So, what is the object of study of Islamic educational philosophy? In terms of object, every scientific discipline is always divided into two, namely material objects and form objects. Material objects are the main raw material for science, which is more general and has a macro dimension. A formal object is something that is the focus on study or a material objects are the main raw material for science, which is more general and has a macro dimension. A formal object is something that is the focus of study or a particular point of view of something, which is more specific and has a macro dimension. This formal object is what differentiates one scientific discipline from another. Okay, that was the material about the object of study of Islamic educational philosophy. And the next subchapters of material is about the study methods of Indonesian educational philosophy. Study methods of Islamic education philosophy. Islamic educational philosophy as a scientific discipline has its own methods for development, which are of course different from other sciences. The formal objects unique to Islamic educational philosophy determine and have consequences for research methods in its field. The most basic thing in the study of philosophy, including the philosophy of Islamic education, is the method or way of working of philosophy, namely dialectics, namely a conceptual study by asking a series of questions, a number of answers, and developing various implications from those answers continuously in a circle without points, and apart from that, in an effort to interpret problems. In philosophy, there is also an analytical method. Analysis plays the role of planning something by differentiating the meaning of various meanings of a case of various way of expressing meaning. Okay everyone, enough for me. Thank you for watching. I hope you always healthy and happy wherever you are. See you in another time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.